Hello, hello. Happy what day? Oh gosh. What day is it? Tuesday. How's everybody living? I will not be the only one talking tonight, so help me.
We're cold. Most of us are cold.
You cold? We got another side chat and one of our friends, Michelle, who I don't know if she said she's popping on. If she does, she got a big mouth. You'll hear her running her mouth. She'll
I wore I wore a light sweater today. It was nice here.
that still doesn't sound fun. But yeah, Michelle is out in like the snow right now. She just sent us pictures and I'm not envious of Michelle. The weather
Yeah,
is
we're
freaking me out.
we're 14 above today. It feels amazing. The sun's out. Life is good.
For those that don't know, Heather's in North Dakota. So I opened up tonight's call just for the veterans in the group. I opened up tonight's call, give an early kickoff to some of the people in the challenge. So I just told them, come on in, come hang out with the crew. Sean is working out. Nice work. I like it. We're getting a little run in. And Heather's in North Dakota, not freezing at 14 degrees.
We were at
Well,
like
Wisconsin. Yeah.
our air temp was like -30 without the wind on Saturday. So 14's feeling amazing.
negative 30. Who's traveling this week? I know Bob is.
Yep, I am.
You fly out tomorrow?
Tomorrow morning, flight leaves at 8:30. I land about 12 o'clock LA time.
How's everything looking out there, out your way?
Cold, it's 5 degrees right now.
But travel wise,
Get out, which should be okay. Coming home, I might be stuck in California.
not a bad place to be stuck.
Well, I might fly to Orlando and fly home from drive home from Orlando. If that might be my better option.
Oh my God. We'll put you up in the guest room. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. You offered up your hot tub to anybody that wants to at Disneyland.
Yeah,
So I
absolutely. I,
figured
I want to have a party this weekend, man. Dobie's over. I'm downhill from here from me.
it's all downhill for here. It's all easy work. I'm freaking out right now because from what everybody's telling me, Dallas Fort Worth is an absolute nightmare. It is, the airport's crazy. We're looking at trying to like switch to the flights
There's
with
no
our
directs.
friends.
There's no direct for you.
There's no direct, not to SN, we're going into SNA. So much easier.
Oh, I
It's
know.
Bro, enjoy the 5 hour drive, 20 minutes from LA, 20 miles from LA down to Anaheim.
My boyfriend's parents left for Orlando yesterday. They left here at like 11. They did not get into Jacksonville until like midnight. I think they got stuck in Chicago.
Oh my God. I don't want to get stuck in Dallas. Like I'm in Orlando. We can switch our flights up if need be. But the last thing I want, I have a special guest tonight until the missus gets home in 15 minutes. So he's going wild. He just had dinner and thinks there's a treat on my desk, apparently. There's no more treats, man. He's going crazy. But yeah, I don't want to get stuck in Dallas. That's my biggest concern. So we're trying to switch up to go to Phoenix and then SNA, get on the same flight as the other two guy, but that's not looking good. So I feel like the wife and I will be on the phone with customer service late into the night tonight because I gotta figure this. I can't go to sleep with all the stress in my head. Tonight, tonight we'll go back to having a focus topic. I mentioned in the transformation group chat. So regulars, I have not put you in there yet. I'm trying to just make sure everybody who's in there got their stuff together. They know what's up before you overwhelm them with, a third chat full of questions in chat. So I'll make sure to share info there, but I'll trickle everything down to you. But I invited them out tonight. Tonight's call, how to train smarter without losing momentum. How to train smarter without losing momentum. It's one of the conversations like I think can let me share my screen actually so you can I know y'all love my slideshows and I love making slideshows. It's it's one of my side joys. Boom, how to train smarter without losing momentum. Hopefully we get to see it. It looks like we can. But yeah, if you do it right, it can kind of change your training if you actually apply it. So I get to talk to a lot of you guys, gals, and hear your stories, hear your struggles, and the takeaway. Like most people don't struggle because they don't care. You struggle because of decision making, decision fatigue. Ah, my words are going to be all over the place tonight with this flight stress. But yeah, decision making, decision fatigue, and we get up and I'm going to keep referencing Dale. I don't even know if Dale's on here, but Dale had a really good one because Dale was going through dopey training in North Carolina cold, and he did not want to get up and bust his butt because it was freezing out. He didn't want to go to the gym. And you wake up and you're like, do I feel like training today? Instead of what does my body need and what do I need for my goals? Like he had dopey on the menu. Yes, he needed to get up and go do the training. And when you look at both different questions, it tends to lead to just a different outcome. So listening to the body is more skill. It's not instinct and skills to get better. You gotta practice them, you gotta learn them, you gotta train them. So again, this year I'm gonna focus on just slowing things down for everybody. So everybody has, and clarity is one of my big words for the year. I always pick out like 5 big words I'm gonna focus on. Clarity is something I always want to provide. So no guilt, no second guessing, and who skipped a workout before because they were tired or they were sore or they were hurt. It could be
Guilty.
anything. Guilty? Was that Larry?
Yeah, I'll admit it.
I
I'm
knew it was you.
guilty.
It wasn't just your voice. Your voice is very I can tell your voice, Larry. I could spot you a mile away from that voice. He's guilty. Larry, you're the only person who has skipped a workout for any reason.
A bunch of us raised our hands. We just
Yeah, I
didn't
know. We
unmute.
raised our hands.
Oh, I can only see one, two,
Yeah.
three, four, five, six on the camera. You know, I'm gonna change this.
Pull
I raised
myself
my
out.
hand.
Okay.
I raised my hand.
I'm gonna make a big old grid so I can see everybody. All right, we raised our hand. Oh, that's so much better. Why have I never thought to do that? Season don't skip workouts. Season's always on the treadmill. She's always moving or cooking. Uh, I do it too. Like, and then you wonder after, did I make the right call? Dale, when he watches the replay, somebody tell me I hit record. I think I did. We're good. We're good. But you start to wondering, did I do the right thing? And tonight, why it all matters, really, like if training goes sideways, it never happens all at once outside of like a really, really big injury. Like tore my bicep 10 years ago, huge injury, training completely went sideways. But it's never generally one thing. It's death by 1,000 cuts, death by 1,000 reasonable decisions. So I skipped my Monday workout, but Tuesday I know I have a busy day, so I'll get back at it Wednesday. But now we're halfway through the week, and maybe I'll just reset next week. One shortened week just becomes the reset, or my shoulder's a little sore, a little sore, and Coach Tom said I got push day today, and we're working some shoulders and chest, and I don't know if that's a good idea. So maybe I'll just take the week off instead of messaging Coach Tom and saying, "Hey, my shoulder's bugging out. What the hell do I do?" So just one nagging issue can just go full stop. Then you get the flip side. The flip side, especially with runners, it's people that pride themselves in pushing through friggin' everything. Pain is weakness. Pain. Ooh, Amazon's here. They brought my stepsister wig. We're good to go now for California. Now, as long as the flight gets there, we're good. But yeah, you get people that just pride themselves on just pushing through pain. Just no, pain is weakness leaving the body. And I used to be like that. And you pile that on and you just keep going. And you're like, oh, I'm just sore. But in reality, there's something deeper going on. You ignore the signals, and then stress piles on and stress on top of that, and then you wonder either A, why you get hurt, or B, why you get burnt out. Both ends of that spectrum, they all come from the same zone, and it's generally just lack of structure around the decision. So hopefully we continue to give structure this year. That's another one. I make my 5 words every year. Structure and clarity are going to be the big ones. But over pushing and under training can stall your progress. And you see, well, I overtrained for years. For years, I had to be in the gym 6 days a week. I was 27 years old, partying my butt off, living the single life. I can yell about that while somebody's not in the house right now. And I'd wake up Sunday morning with a hangover and still have to go to the gym. I'd sit in the sauna for 30 minutes beforehand, try to sweat it out, push through, and then things would hurt the next day because I wasn't in the right place. That's just over pushing and guilty of go, 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 and never saw a lot of progress. Undertraining on the opposite side of the spectrum, you're just not doing enough of the right things. Not doing enough, but not doing enough of the right things where, yep, we're going through the motions. I'm moving, but I'm not moving forward. And you always want to be moving forward. You don't do it to just spin your wheels. The big problem with listening to the body, so the body's pretty simple. It communicates to us through sensation. Sensation, of smell, of sight, of touch, feel, we feel things. But the brain is not simple. And I came up with this whole spiel today. I started feeling a little lightheaded during my workout, and I was pushing hard. I was going hard. Started taking a little longer rest periods, but my body was giving me some kind of signal something wasn't right. And I said, am I just giving myself a little bit of I haven't slept enough and I probably have a little anxiety because I'm a little out of whack right now? Or is there something seriously going on? And I was like, I feel fine. Like everything, I'm good. I'm getting my reps in. Nothing feels, I'm just a little out of it. I could tell I was tired, but the brain started to go down one path, and I took, all right, let's take 5 seconds to breathe and and see if the brain's just telling me a story. So your brain, like your brain wants to keep you comfortable. Your body has one job. Your body's job is to keep you alive, even though it doesn't seem like that sometimes, even though like, disease comes and sickness comes and all these things happen, but the body wants to stay alive. The brain wants to keep you comfortable, avoid uncertainty, justify decisions after. So it's one of the reasons like two people can feel the same thing but respond completely different. Me 8 years ago when I had a good amount of anxiety would have spiraled if I felt a little lightheaded. I would have had to go sit in the locker room. I would have been doing this. I would have been doing this. Is my pulse good? Am I good? And what the heck's going on? Today I said 5 seconds to breathe. Yeah, no, I'm just pushing really hard and I'm freaking exhausted. I didn't sleep well last night and yeah, I took a different path because of that. So one person like the legs could feel heavy and you say this is part of training. A lot of y'all just finished marathons or dopies or whatever, and the legs get sore. And you might say this is part of training. Another might feel it and say, you know what, I should probably rest today. It's the same thing. You're feeling the same thing. It's just different story. So my job tonight is kind of to stop letting the story just run the show. Stop letting the brain take control and run with you. The three big signals you'll see, and mainly in like the fitness world. And I know probably everybody's been through these, and it's very hard to find a different image for pain and discomfort. So pain, you need blue out, you're gonna be pain. Discomfort, oh, my back's a little tight because I've been sitting in the office chair for too long. So not so good with the image, but fatigue, she looked like she's tired, poor girl. But hopefully the framework, just makes you a better athlete. Every sensation you feel during training probably fits into one of these buckets. And mistake I've made in the past, mistake a lot of people I work with have made, it's treating them as an equal threat. So pain, discomfort, fatigue, those should all have a slightly different response. Respond the same way to all three, you're probably not going to progress. Like, pain, I'm probably going to back off. Fatigue, that's what I had this morning. And I was like, you know what? I can push through a little longer. I don't have a long workout today. I got a couple sets right after what I was doing. I got a couple sets of curls and skull crushers, and then I'm hitting the dusty trail. So let's go through it. Now, if I was in immense pain, I would have said, maybe it's time to just call this one and go home. So as we go through each one, just, maybe think about how you've reacted to them in the past. Pain. I know a lot of people have dealt with this. That's been my pain this year. That's why I chose this image. I am working through some knee crankiness, and Pain's probably the easiest one to define, but especially with runners, probably the easiest one to ignore as well. Sharp, specific. If it changes how you move, that's a problem. That's an issue. If it gets louder and louder, like it, if you keep going through pain, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. That's not a good thing. And pain differentiates from soreness. It's not soreness, stiffness, tightness. It's definitely not your effort. That this is the one where it's like your body saying this is non-negotiable. This is hit the brake pedal. We don't always need to be gas, 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 go, go, go. But big mistake, and myself, very guilty of this. I'm always going to try to be transparent, waiting for the pain to become unbearable before you do something about it. And oh, my knees creaky. All right. For me, first step is I got a good background in this. I got some PTs I can lean on, but if it didn't start getting better, I'm gonna make that appointment to make sure there's not something deeper going on. But back in the day, no, I just keep going. The first time I tore my bicep twice. I only talk about the one time. I tore it twice. I could not move my left arm at all, and I waited for it to heal. Set me back so much. Set me back so much. The second time I knew, I said, I'm not going through this again. Got on the phone with the doctor, scheduled the surgery, and bam, it was surgery. Sucks. You're down for 3 to 6 months after, but I was at 100%. They told me I'd never get back to 100%. I said, you're a liar. I'm gonna do it. Got back there. I'd call it 100, and yeah, moved on. But usually, by the time pain forces you to stop, that's when you've missed the window where a small adjustment could have solved it. Like putting in long mileage. If Season starts telling me her knees are killing her, and I'm like, Season, you're on that treadmill jogging every night that I talk to you. If it's Thursday, you're on there. If we move to Tuesday, you're on there. When we do the Monday kickoff, you're going to be on there. Maybe you're doing a little too much, homegirl. Maybe slow it down and see if we can dial back or mix in a bike for one of those things. Anybody ever ignore pain because you don't want to lose momentum?
Guilty.
Bob, if your hand didn't
Guilty,
go up,
guilty.
if Bob's hand did not go up, I would have had to come up there. So for those that don't know,
Guilty.
Bob's one of our resident ex strongman power lifter, squatted probably 1,000 pounds, bench pressed 500 pounds, and everybody I know in that sport got some kind of ick they're dealing with now after a long time. But you ignore it because you don't want to lose momentum. You don't want to lose steam. We got a lot of guilties there. Ah, I like it. I like the honesty. Where's my chat box? When I was younger, I just pretend it doesn't exist. Not a good thing. Not a good thing. Got to stay hydrated. Next up, discomfort. So, discomfort is where adaptation happens. This one should be normal. This is the one most people accidentally will train away from. I coached group fitness for 8 years, and I watched people not get results, and it pissed me off. And then I tell them, I said, hey, you have been lifting that same 10-pound dumbbell since I've known you. You've been bicep, I'm just going to use a random example. You've been bicep curling 10 pounds for 4 freaking years. Do you want to try the 12? Do you want to try the 15? No, I'm good. And I watch it. I'm like, this person hasn't made any progress. And then they ask, like, why haven't I made progress? Because we're avoiding the discomfort. And the same woman, I used to live behind. I live 7 minutes away from the gym I used to coach at. And two locations, they're both like within 10 minutes actually. And I see these people at Publix and they're walking in the car like they're the Incredible Hulk, like 15 bags of groceries in the arms. But then it's like, oh, I don't want to lift more than a 5 because I'm nervous. I don't want to get hurt. I'm like, you're not. We go up a little bit. We'll be okay. But this is the signal that people train away from. Discomfort tends to feel unfamiliar. It feels challenging. It makes you want to back off. If you signed up for Dopey or a marathon or even a half marathon or like you're in for discomfort. You're down for discomfort, and I like it. That's probably why you're here. But that one's not a warning sign. That's the adaptation signal. the burn in the legs, the stiffness maybe at the start of the run before the legs loosen up, the soreness, the soreness that shows up on both sides. Like if my left leg only is sore, that might be a signal. If my right leg and my left leg are sore, okay, my body's in alignment. You know, left bicep starts flaring up, that's where I get concerned because it's been surgically repaired before. So, do I want to mess with that? No. So that's when I start, okay, is this a discomfort thing or do I need to back down? But those ones, the burn, the stiffness, the soreness, that's the sign your body's like just responding to training. Cat, where are you? I know you're in my boxes.
Yes, I'm here.
What's the word?
I was gonna message you that.
Cat's the Dom's queen. Delayed onset muscle soreness. So she craves it. She craves it. She goes for it and yeah. So she loves the Doms. If you wait until the training feels easy, you'll wait forever. And I was guilty. So I did not personally track anything back in the day. I didn't track a thing. I just went through and I did my bench press and it was always the same. I would do 12 reps at 135 and then 10 reps at 185. And for the longest time, 195, don't laugh at me, Bob, was my sticking point. And then I started tracking things and I started utilizing my own app, and I'm cruising along towards 315 pounds. Bob's going to help me get there and broke 300 for the first time on the bench press. Like I wanted it. I was like ready to, I'm like, I finally got there and I'm going to get the 3 plates on both sides. I'm going to do it. And it's just, all it did was, if I were to go back and look at the path, I either added 1 rep or I added 2.5 pounds or I added 5 pounds each time. And it's slow. It's a journey, but that's you got to keep the uncomfortable going away. And with runners, I always relate to the same thing. Like at one point in life, a 5K was uncomfortable. I was the last kid to finish a mile in high school every time. Back in they still did the presidential fitness test. I think that's coming back. I don't know. But yeah, had to do the mile, last kid to finish. Trying to get into fitness, running is always probably the first route people take. I'm gonna start running. Could barely make it down the street before I was like, I gotta go home. Everything hurts and I'm dying. And I was very quick to bail on that discomfort zone. I've pulled out so many times before I actually dove on in. And there's what I was getting at, the 5K, there was a point in your life, and it might still be there, but a lot of people that finished dopey or full marathon or the first half marathon in the past couple weeks, and just look back, like remember when that 5K sucked, and then the next 5K but it started getting a little easier, started getting less uncomfortable and less. Oh, I feel better doing it. Started to the point where it's comfortable. What the heck do I do next? That's when you sign up for a 10K, and now I got to go another 3.1 miles. That gets now it's uncomfortable again. That's the body adaptation. Mommy's home. Okay, I'll see you later. But yeah, then you keep pushing and moving forward, and runners tend to get it more on the course or on the track or on the streets than with the weights. Fatigue. Yo, everybody's guilty of this one. Low energy, heavy legs, brain fog, motivation starts to drop. It's that's the this one's probably the most emotional signal. Like if fatigue shows up, this guy creeps in. The brain, he starts creeps in, he's making negotiations, he's cutting deals with you. He or she's cutting deals, whatever you got living up there. They're like, you know what? I'll do it later. I'm gonna get after it tomorrow. I'm not gonna force it today. There's a lot of excuse. The fatigue, that's information. It's telling you something about the sleep. It's telling you something about the fuel, the stress, the workload. Something's off. You're pushing too hard somewhere. Amy, this is where I get lost. Hey, hon. What you mean, Amy? Amy.
This, I was trying to get to my audio button, sorry. Yeah, this is where I get lost. I mean, I'm a woman of a certain age, so I've already got factors that play into this, but yeah, this is I can beg off a workout one night and then it turns into two, and then it turns into three. And before I know it, I've made all these excuses as to why I cannot work out.
Like the
And
power went out.
that's where I get lost.
What time do you get up? Give me your schedule. Give me a day in your life.
I get up about 4:30, 4:45, drive about 45 minutes to work in a very dark room all day, 45 minutes back. It's hardest now because you get home and it's dark. When it's summer, we go out for a run or a walk after work.
Easy.
But I've had to pivot, and I found that if I do it at lunch, it gives me more energy for the rest of the day. It's done. I don't have to worry about it once I get out of that car. And then I feel like I've accomplished it. So I've pivoted to lifting at lunch and running after work.
If you can do it, that's the way. Because I was gonna say, like, I got somebody, she tells me, she goes, oh, I'm always so tired to work out. She's like, I wake up at 9, I go to work at 10. And I'm like,
What? When?
wake up at 6. Get going. Get moving. You know, try to do it early, but if you're getting up and you got to be to work that early, that's out of the question. You can't do that.
I've tried like getting up like a half hour early to try and get it in, but I just don't have the power at that point to do it. I have much more strength and can push myself a little bit harder if I do it over my lunch break than if I try and get up and do it in the morning. So I usually, if I can get up like 15 minutes ahead of time, I've been doing like yoga for like a 15-minute morning yoga just to kind
I
of
like
wake
it.
myself up, get a little bendy, which actually helped a lot of foot and leg issues I was having while running. And like I said, then I'll lift at lunch, and on my running days, I run that after work.
All right. You're
I think I'm
fortunate you
building
can
some
lift at
pretty good
lunch.
momentum.
You're fortunate you can lift at lunch because you know that if you were stuck doing the afternoons, then we're in a struggle bus and we need to figure out what makes the afternoons work better for you. And just like how do you almost hack that? Like, is it having dumbbells at home and making sure you have a little bit of caffeine on the way? Like I swapped gyms at one point because it was so much easier. It was so much easier to turn a different direction. I'm like, I have to pass this gym to get home. It was a busier gym, but when I was working out at nights for a while, I said I have to drive past this. And just being able to like I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna see it and it's gonna get in my head if I don't go when I'm tired. And I know I'm gonna feel better after. So I'm gonna just do it. Like you gotta look for those little hacks, like the morning stuff for me. My clothes are already in the car. My bag is packed. My coffee is ready in the fridge at, it was I was all set at 5:30 where I'm like, if I don't do it, and that comes even further setting yourself up for success where I bring my vitamins to the gym with me in the morning and I have 18 little preset vitamin packs that are ready to go so I don't have to set up my vitamins every day. And I got my little creatine and arginine and carnitine drink. I got 5 of those in the cabinet, so I just got to throw that. And I got to throw the 2 protein shakers in the bag. So it takes me 4 minutes to just set up the bag each night and throw it in the car. And that way I know my work clothes are already in there. Like my life clothes are already in the car. Everything's already ready to go. I put the laptop when I'm done with. Actually, I got to see what time is it. I got to watch the time tonight because I got to see Mr. Bob from Rise and Run and the whole Rise and Run crew after this. But I'll put the laptop in the car tonight because I have calls early tomorrow. So I'm gonna take the first 2 calls right from the gym, and I'm like, well, you know what? I got an 8 and I got an 8:30 call. That enables me. I can probably sleep a little longer, but I can also give myself a little time to do this and that, whether it's the sauna or something. Clear. So try to find the little hacks that work. Working out in the middle of the day, that's yours. Keep doing it. I really dislike the age part of being a certain age. We got a lot of agreement there. On this, I know when women go through a whole different thing than men do. But one thing I will say is the thing that got me like 5 years ago is people would say to me, wait till you get to my age. And I'd ask and I'd say, how old are you? Do the math. Okay, they're 5 years older than me. And I said, wait till I get to your age. That was my mindset where I said, I want to, I don't want to be where you're at in 5 years. Then I kind of just shifted my mindset. Like I'm gonna keep working every effing day because I got a lot of new friends in here. I got to expletive myself. But I said I'm not gonna let that define me. And then I look at it, I look at the Bobs of the world, Bob from Rise and Run, 72, 73, and running marathons.
Mhm.
I look at Alan Young and Grace, his wife, who Grace, that lady puts shame to 20-year-old girls I know in the gym. Like if y'all seen her, she,
Mhm.
she's still got it. She's still rocking it. And Alan, same way. And you look at those people, look at those three people. What's one thing you notice about them when you talk to them? They're all freaking full of life and energy. And it's because they put in that work over the years. I want to be Grace when I grow up. Yeah. And I've mentioned this before on calls, but I have four uncles, four uncles, five aunts. We won't get too much into the aunts. Four uncles on my dad's side. He's the youngest of nine kids. Grandpa got back from the war, did two things. The other one was drinking. And four boys, five girls first, then four boys in that order. One of them passed away from a drug overdose. Another one was the cat with nine lives. He was diabetic, continued to drink, smoke, lost his eye, lost his leg, had heart attacks, and like did never freaking learned. Never learned. The other
Okay. All
one,
right. I'm on a call, but okay.
the other one, he
Okay.
was a cop, still smokes to this day, and he's good. But the last one, my dad, he's still working out at 65 years old. He still can freaking bench press more than me, and it pisses me off. And I got to see him do that growing up. And I did not work out my whole life. For the new people, I was 250 pounds for 23, 24 before I stepped foot in a gym because no one ever wants to do what their parents do. And now I look and I'm like, man, look at my cousins, and I'm like, thank God this one, I got this one. And thank God I got this one because all my cousins are going down the same path. They all smoke, they're all drinking, living in the Bronx still, never care to change. I'm like, you're gonna end up like your dad who passed away at 55 years old from the stuff. No, nope. So I look like when I hear age, like what can I do about it? What can I do about it now so that when I get to 80, I'm more like Bob. When I get to 65, I'm more like my dad. And I just aged Bob up like 7 years. Don't tell him I did that. But yeah, I hate the age thing. My friends all accept age as a limit. And I got people I work with that are smoking me at marathons, 50 years old, 10 years older than me, and they're killing me at marathons. And I'm like, all right, so now I got goals. They are my role models. I want to be like them when I get their age. Have a mother-in-law who has health issues and doesn't want to do anything. Hurts my heart. We were talking about my wife asked, she asked over the holidays about how old my aunt was, and my dad told her, oh, she's 2 years older than mom. And my wife's jaw dropped. She's like, what? Are you serious? Well, she smoked a pack of parliaments every day, smoked some other stuff every day, and drank 5 times a week. And you just see like the difference in two people, just 2 years of age, where my mom took care of herself. So that's what my goal is. And hopefully I can my goal is not to let my age define what I can do and cannot do. Denise, you summed it up for me. We went on a tangent. Ah, excuse disguises. Excuses tend to rarely sound like excuses. They sound thoughtful, they sound reasonable and responsible. That's why they're effective. So if you don't have a filter, every tired day just becomes a day to kind of get change the plan. Over time, you stop trusting yourself, to follow through. And for those of you that train for big races, like that's dangerous. As I've talked to a few people where, yeah, I just never started the training for Dopey, and January 12th sucked. And it starts with one skip day, one I don't want to force it, one I'll get back on track next week. That's no fun. I think that's my last, nope, second to last slide. Decision filter. So what is this? So, the filter slows you down enough to make the choice. So what signal is this? Am I tired? Am I in pain or am I just a little uncomfortable? What's going on here? Did I fuel enough? That was another thing. I realized, kicking off the challenge in 2 weeks, and thank you to everybody that booked all your calls early and got conversations in. I forgot to eat yesterday. We had dinner and I had breakfast, and that is not, I'm a 3,500 calories type of person a day. Don't worry, Bethany. I saw you log in on my watch. Uh, don't worry. I recorded the front end. And yeah, I didn't fuel enough. And I think that probably settled into the fatigue I was feeling this morning, the lightheaded. Did I sleep enough? I knew I had definitely not. What's the smartest adjustment? I took more rest. I took more rest in between sets. I didn't rush. I didn't go hunting for a PR. I try to match what I did last time because sometimes matching what you did before can be a win. And a lot of times, though, the big win is just showing up and doing some version of the work. Like, I don't know anybody that's ever said, I want to run a 5K, but I'm not really in the mood. Not really in the mood. Maybe if I just go and start and just do like a lap around the block to get myself moving. I don't know anybody that doesn't finish the 5K at that point. Like, you already got the shoes on, you're already out on the road, you got the headphones in, now the music's pumping you up. Like, get in. Maybe I'll just do the first couple sets, see how I feel. Well, you know what? I'm already in the gym. I'm already here. I'm not going to just bail out now. So consistency is built by just people knowing how to adjust. Todd, just start. Just sometimes you just got to get going. That's the smartest adjustment. But in the real world, with poor sleep, definitely that's what I did. I reduced the intensity. I didn't, the workout took a little, maybe 5 minutes longer because I was giving myself more time between sets. But I kept the workout going. I kept the session on and just kept going and took a breather. Sore legs, get a longer warm up in. When we get into this, when we get into the challenge, if you're when I say longer warm up, dynamic warm up. Don't do static stretches before you run, please. Don't do static stretches. Dynamic warm up, get the blood flowing, get the body moving. Stay patient. If the legs are sore, like probably not the day to go. Not the day to go and go for a PR. Not the day to go for a PR. Sharp pain, stop, modify it, let me know. If something's off, then we got to move stuff. We got to shift stuff, and that's fine. If you say, I'm building up a plan for. Is she on here? I have three monitors that I look at. I got my slideshow up there, I got my notes down below, and I got you guys up here. See my eyes wandering. No, she's not on here, but I work with somebody else that had to get a surgery done recently, and you get down on yourself. Oh man, my arm. I can't do anything with my arm. Can't do anything with my arm. Anybody work out for mental health? It's me. It's me.
100%.
I'm the
Yes.
one.
Yep.
I am the one where that got me
Same.
out of a dark place in my life. It saved, I look at it as like exercise saved my life, so I'm going to continue to exercise.
Mhm.
And that's where she in a dark place. Well, when I tore my bicep, they said you're not allowed to work out for a minimum of 3 months, more likely 6 months. This is not my professional opinion on what you should do. I do not advocate this for anyone. I said, I'm going to lose my effing mind if I don't work out. I had flown my mother from Connecticut to Orlando to take care of me because, mama's boy needed help. I had no family down here at the time. I needed somebody to drive me to surgery, drive me home, all the fun stuff. And I dipped out of the house at 6 a.m. the next morning. And she's like, she texted me at like 7. She's like, are you up? And I'm like, I'm up, I'm at the gym. And she's like, I'm gonna freaking kill you. And I said, it's my arm. My arm is in a splint. I used the leg press machine, which required me to not use my arms at all. I used the leg extension machine and I used the leg curl machine. And I did 4 different exercises on repeat for about 4 weeks. Then I found a gym. Then I found a gym that had hammer strength machines. I'll mention that on the call in a second. I joined a gym that had hammer strength machines, which are just single side of the body. You can put plates on the right side. You don't have to put plates on the left. And I said, my left arm's jacked up, but I feel confident enough at this point. I kept where I was so lopsided at the end, but up here, I felt, I'm still doing what I enjoy. I'm not causing any injury to here. Listen to your doctor, but this is I'm just sharing my story. I pivoted. I got it done because I said, that's what I got to do for my sanity. So, sometimes you got to make a pivot. It's not, don't be dramatic with it. Don't be heroic. Just stay steady and keep moving. The calls are just for people new to the challenge that did VIP. For those asking about it, they got that. Anybody that signed up for the VIP for the challenge, they're the ones booking calls this week. I did that when I broke my foot. Only worked out other areas of your body. Still helps. And so one thing, and they tell you don't want you to work out because they don't want you to get re-injured. Obviously, they did a major surgery on my arm, and they don't they don't want you to ruin that. They don't want you to go backwards. But and this is not a when I went to it's not professional advice at all. This is just me speaking on my experience. When I went to the physical therapist 3 months later, she's like, "You're clear. This is one of the fastest I've seen somebody heal from this." And she's like, "Would you?" And I did a couple other things. I did cryotherapy almost every day for 3 months. I did, made sure I took so many vitamins. I ate so much protein, and I was just looking up vitamins to help healing joints, heal this, that. And I continued to move my body, and blood flowing around the body is a good thing. Like getting a little blood pumping is a good thing. And I think that helped expedite things. That's just me. Well, A+ on my opinion. Good job. Identity shift. Who gets the results? That guy. That guy in the picture. He's making me jealous of his delts. So this week, success. Don't make it perfection. Um, just one smarter decision than last week. Be a disciplined decision maker. Find patterns. Find what throws you off. Get the patterns. I know if I go back to bed, I miss. I will not, the time will get away from me and I just won't make it in for the workout. So there's the internal alarm just goes off. And I think she thought I was like doing something suspicious because the gym doesn't open till 5 and I was leaving the house at 4:15. She's like, "Where are you going?" And I said, "I sit in the parking lot." I get there at 4:30. I'm the first car there. It's me and one other guy maybe. And I said, I'll sit in the parking lot. Then I get out and I warm up a little bit. She goes, "But why?" I said, if I go back to bed, if I go back to bed, I'm gonna just sleep on through. My body told me it was time to wake up. I got enough sleep. I was in bed by 9 last night, so I got 7 hours. And it's easier for me to just say, all right, that's my pattern. That if I roll over, I'm gonna go back to sleep. Nope, I'm up, get moving a little bit, and listen to some positive stuff. So if you get messages from me at 4:30 in the morning, I'm in the gym parking lot. I'm hanging out. So yeah, that's what I got tonight. Now we can chat. Now we can chat. Let's stop sharing my screen. Get my ugly mug back up there again. What do we think? What would you say? Some of y'all messaging me right now. Kind of give you some clarity to the patterns.
Mm-hmm.
hmm When we go, into the main challenge, we're gonna be doing 2 calls. So Tuesday night at 6, just like this one. And then if you're in the VIP, you can join us in the Accelerate on Thursdays at 6:30. With that, does anybody on both sides of the spectrum have requests for calls? Now I'm going to do the first. First will probably be strength because I'm getting a lot of strength questions. Strength training 101, nutrition 101, those are kind of staples. Does anyone have requests on things they want me to recover or cover? And I was gonna say like recovery. Is recovery something we struggle with? Stress something we struggle with? Supplements. Supplements is always on the darn list. Todd, I'm gonna warn you now, that could be a 3 hour call because I can go on and on about supplements. I'm the real life guinea pig. Kat, I've given you all the tools to reduce the DOMS. That's part of recovery. If you're somebody that gets delayed onset muscle soreness, like Kat, foam roll, rest, compression. If you have access to some kind of cryotherapy, fantastic, fantastic stuff. It's not cheap, but if you have access, the Graston is one of my best friends. When we go recovery, I'll probably break down the benefits of all of these. So, Kat, and then getting enough nutrition. This is why you make me want to not reduce your calories, even though we're in a deficit, Kat. Sleep, tracking my sleep more, and I'm struggling to get quality sleep each night. Yeah, that's where I say, you know, Noel, what are you using to track?
So, like, I have my Garmin watch that I just sleep with it on, and so I don't even know how accurate that necessarily is, but I want to see consistency wise, like how that looks before I look into investing, like in anything else, like an Aura Ring or whatever.
You're going to get a lot of the same data with the Oura Ring. You're going to get a lot
Really?
of the
Okay.
same, or it might be a little more detailed there, but Garmin's a quality tracker. It's
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing I wanted to like keep track of was my sleep specifically because I'm just like I'm not getting it. Like I'll get 8 hours, even 7.5, and sometimes it just doesn't feel quality. And I'll pull it up since I've been tracking for the past week, and it's like you got 45 minutes of deep sleep. I'm like, well, no wonder I feel like crap.
what's your and things we'll cover when I because I will do a sleep one. I think sleep is so important. Um, I've taken a deep dive on sleep this year. What does your routine look like 3 hours before bed?
So I try to be in bed by 9, so around 6-ish. If I didn't do workout that morning, that's usually when I'm going to start working out in the evening. So I try to do morning workouts, but sometimes evening just works better. And if I'm not doing my workout in the evening, then it's usually cooking dinner or cleaning the house. If I'm
Yeah.
not at work,
Work.
depends.
So work at night.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll have evening meetings that I can't get around or anything like that.
She'll cut me off on the computer because I will sit and respond. And then after she cuts me off on the computer, she'll have to do it on the phone. She's like, the messages can wait until the morning. You're like, no one's gonna die on their work if you don't message people back. And
Urgency.
and then she every time that you wait until and you're answering messages at 10 o'clock, you always complain that you got a bad night's sleep, and it's the staring at the phone because that could be
Yeah.
it. Um,
Yeah, my screen time, I'm trying to cut that down at least like an hour before I go to bed.
and I'm a big liquid drinker, but I started following like the 3-2-1 plan, which is 3 hours before bed, try to stop eating, two
Okay.
hours, stop drinking, 1 hour, cut the electronics. I'm the worst with the 1 hour one.
Oh, okay.
I really need to get a good book. I really need to get a good book that just, and then find another one. But then, I can't, I have to read. In our house, the current book series that I'm not reading is this ACOTAR stuff.
Oh my gosh, yes, it's so good.
So, what would probably put me to sleep, I'm gonna tell you all a funny story too before I get to this. What would probably put me to sleep is keeping her up late into the night and she's missing workouts. And I'm like, you gotta stop reading this book before bed because you end up just one more chapter in it. Just one more chapter. And and yeah, so you gotta find out what works for you that kind of puts you down. And but the 3-2-1 tends to help get that in order. And I was waking up, probably TMI, I was waking up to potty 2 or 3 times a night. And you getting a little older. So I went to the urologist and she's like, I can tell you're athletic. I ran all your tests. You look fine. I can tell you're athletic. How much water do you drink a day? And I'm like, 1.5 to 2 gallons. And she's like, when do you stop drinking water? I'm like, probably right before bed. And she goes, and you still are here wondering why you're peeing a lot? I was like, And there goes that mental, there goes the brain coming in. So we got to find what's set. And like hydration is good. Too much hydration late in the night, probably not so good. Probably not so good. Michelle, what sort of supplements should we take daily? Like I'll deep dive that when we go on a supplement call, but I mean, if anybody wants to know off the bat, creatine. Creatine. I would, unless for some reason, and I've never heard a doctor say don't take creatine. Larry's doctor told him, but that is the one that is proven to be the most beneficial, like just and the one you'll actually see results, most tested, one of the safest supplements out there. On top of that, like maybe a fish oil. Like you don't have, I hate fat burners. It's just caffeine and pre-workouts, they all have the same ingredients, which I'll break down when we go into the supplement call. So where you could buy those ingredients to get the results you're looking for versus buying some fancy dancy pre-workout. And then the alternate route, and I went and I got a comprehensive blood test, and they told me I was low in vitamin D, which I was shocked. I'm like, I live in Central Florida. How the hell am I low in vitamin D? And they're like, it could happen. It could happen. So if there's something missing there, almost everyone is deficient in magnesium. That might be another one where I'm like, if you sleep troubles, magnesium. Don't go with melatonin, go with magnesium. It relaxes the body. I think Amy needs some magnesium. And Kat, get them some magnesium this year. Taking a deep dive on sleep. Mine tells me I have bad sleep when I wake up refreshed, and vice versa. I've been trying. Bethany, I get that too, where sometimes if I have a crappy night's sleep and then I go to the gym right after, I'm like, I don't know if my brain just wasn't fully working, but I kicked butt this morning. What is
I
happening?
mean, Dan got me a new Garmin for Christmas. He like surprised me with
Oh,
it
I
and
can
he's
see
like,
that.
it's so awesome. And he's like, you should track sleep. And I'm like, I'm so frustrated because it's like, okay, the days I wake up and I'm so refreshed, it's like, you had a shit ass night of sleep, and you're not
Yeah.
recovered to train. And I'm like, I feel great. I just did, whatever on the treadmill. And then the day it's like, you had a great night's sleep. I'm like, oh, really? Tell me that again. You know?
You know, and that's where the data can that's where I almost bought an Oura. I've almost bought
Mhm.
a Whoop. And sometimes I'm like, you know what? The days when it says I'm highly stressed and I shouldn't work out are some of the days that some people just they need that outlet. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna listen to the data. And I worked with somebody, I had a one-on-one call a couple weeks ago. She's at the tail end of dopey. She goes into her taper, and what does the damn thing tell her? You're under training, you've been unproductive, and like all sorts of stuff bashing her when in reality, she's tapering for the race in a week. And she was beating herself up. She's like, you're saying I'm unproductive. What the hell?
Last night it told me, because like I really use it for like my runs and stuff like that, but I'm just testing it out. Last night we had a snow day. Mav had a friend over. He left at like 4, and Mav and I literally sat on the couch from 4 to 8 and we watched High School Musical. And my watch is like, you are the most stressed out tonight. Your stress was so high. And I'm like,
I,
I was under a heated blanket watching High School Musical. I can't be that stressed. It's all
it'll,
I
data.
normally
it'll,
average,
Yeah.
I normally average 5 hours. Last night I got 8.5, and it said I'm strained today. It makes no sense
it's
to me.
crazy.
Yeah.
I
I
was
think
cooking
it's
dinner last night and it told me that I had an abnormal heart rate.
Crazy.
So nuts. So nuts. Meditation was the game changer. Stop doom scrolling. That's going to be my problem tonight because I'm going to continue going on Reddit and seeing what people post about Dallas Fort Worth and try to figure out what the hell I should do over the next 24 hours. So, yeah, reading will probably be a better option than that. Love SJM, Sarah J. Moss. I don't know who RY is. Start doing a puzzle. I do
Rebecca
puzzles.
Yaros. You got to get into the
All right, Rebecca Yarros.
universe.
Studying
I
for
knew
a
someone was going to know that
certification.
one.
Textbooks knocked me out. I don't know that one. Creatine's been making me feel so full. Welcome to Garmin. I seem to be better and feel in charge. Flying IAH and not Dallas Fort Worth. I don't know if I got to see what works best MCO to get me to SNA. That's the main issue, Cat. It'll probably be fine. I'm not going to stress it. So these books that you people read, I don't know, anybody else read these books? What the heck?
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yes, welcome to the universe.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you. So
Yeah.
we had to go to Miami. We had to go to Miami I got to go to Miami to go to her friend's baby's first birthday party on Saturday, and it was a quick. I think we were out of Orlando for less than 18 hours. Like we were out, stayed the night, went to the birthday party, came back right after, and I brought the laptop because I know I'm going to Disneyland. I said, let me get everybody on the challenge set up. I will work in the car the whole way. You just got to drive, and I will go with you. We get like 2 hours into the drive. And then she's like, yeah, you're not talking to me. You're too focused. You mind if I listen to my audiobook? And I said, yeah, go for it. And the next thing I hear is, and then the throbbing and this and all of these adult words that I was not expecting to come through this audiobook that she's listening
Hell
to
yeah, I love her.
about vampires and like, or no, what is it?
Fairies.
Fairies?
They're
Yeah.
fae. There's a difference. They're not fairies.
And I'm sitting here like, what is happening?
The romantasy is alive and well.
I was telling her, I was like, you need to put this on when your mom's in the car because she's like a super religious, like Spanish lady, like little old from Ecuador. And I was like, you got to put this on when mom's in the car and just see if she even catches it. I listened to 15 minutes and I heard a lot of adult words. It was
He must be in the last book, guys. He must be in the last book.
I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna
Me
just
too.
test. What was the book in the car?
The problem is when you have kids, like I haven't listened to those, but I have like some Megan Quinn books or whatever, and my phone like automatically hooks onto my car and I drive so much. I mean, you know how much time I spend in my car and it'll go on and like I'll pick Mav and his friends up at the bus and I'm like smashing my radio and they're like, "Oh, are they gonna kiss now?" And I'm like, "Shut up." So it's like that's worse. The kids.
Oh my gosh.
Bad.
I
It's
want to know what
bad.
the book was. Ah. She finished the whole ACOTAR series. It's a different series. It's gonna bother me.
Oh, well, kind of sounds like she may be in Crescent City then, because Sarah J. Maas got a little with the Crescent City like
That
series.
sounds right. That sounds right. Is there a second
Yeah.
one after that?
Oh god, there's a whole
There's
universe.
like 3 series in the whole
Oh,
world. There's the Throne of Glass era, there's ACOTAR, and then there's Crescent City.
I got three
Sounds like
dots.
she's in Crescent City because Bryce is a little crazy.
Crescent City now. What was before Crescent City?
Throne of Glass.
Then it must
Yeah,
have been that 'cause
technically
she was
Throne of
on the
Glass.
last chapter, but before Throne of Glass. Okay. That's what
Yep.
we were listening to in the car. So if you go re-listen to this last
Kinda.
chapter, it's raunchy.
Yeah, not a fan of Crescent City. The other ones are great.
Noel, did you hear that she might be doing a fourth series?
I
Actually,
know.
the crossover between all three.
I know. I just want book 6 of ACOTAR. Honestly, Crescent City can go away. I'm ready for Throne of Glass. Bring me the other one.
Oh no, the one in Miami that I heard was Crescent City. She's probably wondering, what the heck are you talking about me?
Yeah, Crescent City is intense.
The best book to fall asleep to is The Art of War by Sun Tzu.
You're not wrong.
Oh, that might jazz me up. That might jazz me up. Well, thank you to everybody who joined the call tonight, all the new faces. You can come hang out next Thursday too. We'll be back on schedule Thursday at 6:30. Then we'll kick into the challenge calls the week after that. I am working on a pretty schedule, so everybody has a nice schedule, and Bethany doesn't mess up the time again. So you can save the schedule. I might even, if I can figure out Canva, I might even put the links on the calendar picture, so it's nice and simple, and nobody loses their mind. I'm gonna go chat with the Rise and Run crew for a little bit, and I'll see some of y'all in Disneyland. If you're in the challenge and you're going to Disneyland, shoot me a message. Shoot me a message. I got swags. I want to bring some swags. And yeah, I'll see everybody. See everybody next week. We're in Disneyland.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. See ya.
Good night.